Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. So I'm actually filming a lot sooner than I thought I was going to be able to. I was looking into new cameras, and for the kind of camera that I need, the kind of camera that would kind of fit the purpose, I was looking at minimum of £600, and that was kind of for entry level without the kind of lenses, microphones, things like that. Not that I have all those things now, but everything's kind of built into this one little camera. So what I actually ended up doing was buying some teeny tiny screws to fix the viewfinder and purchasing a new SD card. I did a little bit of a test run last week, filmed like a couple of really tiny clips, and then checked again today to make sure they were still there, and they are. So it's not going to get me back any of my lost footage, but fingers crossed my camera is working. I'm probably going to be importing my footage into my laptop straight away as soon as I finish filming this video, just in case. But we're filming, which is good. I am not too sure when I'm going to be able to get this edited and up for you guys, just because things are so busy. Today is actually Sunday. We go away on Saturday, so we have 5 to 6 days, and the things that I had planned to do on the Thursday and Friday, so my busiest days, turns out Friday's actually booked up with other things now, so I'm having to kind of move things forward a little bit and try and get things done sooner. So today's task, guys, is gonna be packing our suitcases. It is complete and utter chaos in here, guys. So as you can see, my bed is completely full. There are also suitcases on the floor with things in them. I'll show you those in a minute. But all of this stuff I need to fit within one suitcase, so one checked luggage suitcase, one 10-kilogram carry-on suitcase, and 6 carry-on bags, which have to be within, I think it's like 45 centimeters by 35 by 25, something like that. So small bags, not like suitcase, like carry-on suitcase size, like backpack size or small kind of duffel bag size. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling optimistic at the moment. Oh, by the way, I am almost 26 weeks along. Baby boy is growing nicely. The boys are playing in the room if you can hear them. Baby boy is cooking away nicely, and I only have a couple of weeks left of my second trimester, which is absolutely insane. I feel like the time is going very, very quickly. But I'm actually finally comfortable in pyjamas. I actually popped to Primark and picked up a couple of pairs of new pyjamas. I purchased these in the next size up, and I did actually make sure that they have a drawstring, so when baby arrives I can draw these much tighter so they will fit around my waist when I have one again. But I thought as well, buying new pyjamas now is nice because I can wear them while I'm pregnant. They're going to fit me while I'm pregnant, and then I can actually pack them in my hospital bag for when I'm in hospital with baby boy as well, and I know that they're going to be nice and oversized and comfortable after he's born. So anyway, that was a bit of a side tangent. I have a lot of stuff to pack. First of all, I think I'm just going to show you everything that I am going to be packing. This is not everything, by the way, guys. I've still got last minute things, which will include Avery's medications, all of her emergency bits and bobs. I've still got a few last minute bits for like me and the boys to pack, electronics and whatnot, but I can show you what we have so far. Also, I'm aware that 6 days is a little bit too early to start packing, although I think I did start packing about 2 weeks before we went to Orlando, but that was a very, very big trip. But like I said, the end of this week is going to be super busy, so if I can get this done now, that is a big job ticked off my to-do list. So Sunday afternoon, Josh is downstairs with Avery having cuddles, the boys are in their room playing, so I'm just gonna get this done. So let's start with what's on the floor. This is the checked luggage suitcase we're taking. I'd say it's probably a medium size, and it can be up to 23 kilograms, and we did just weigh it. It's just over 15. I did panic a little bit because at first it was saying like 34, but then we realised that the battery was low on our scales, so we changed the battery and it was coming in at 15 or just over 15, so panic over. And then that is the carry-on suitcase. The reason we have an extra carry-on suitcase is because we actually went through special assistance, and Avery has 2 additional bags. She has this one, which will be for her kind of medical stuff, and then she is also going to have her suction machine, which counts as an extra carry-on bag. That is alongside her regular carry-on luggage. So let's start with the big suitcase, because I ended up putting stuff in here just to see kind of what I could fit, and I feel like I'm probably just going to keep it this way. I did have to be careful though with this suitcase, because there are bits in here that I can't afford to get crushed. So I guess this side is a little bit less medical. By the way, for context guys, if you are new here, hi, I'm Chrissy. I am a mum of soon to be 4, plus I have a stepson who is 13 years old. He is the oldest. So 5 children between us. Our daughter, who is currently our youngest, but not for long, has complex medical needs. She has cerebral palsy and is severely disabled. So the way we pack is a little bit different, and we have a lot more bags than we would need if Avery wasn't disabled. She needs a lot of extra stuff to keep her comfortable and to keep her safe. She also takes a lot of medications, and she's also G-tube fed. So lots and lots and lots of extra bits. When we go away, it feels like a military operation. We don't get to go away as a family very often, but we have been very, very fortunate to have some amazing trips as a family. This time we are going to Spain. The last time I booked a trip for us all to Spain was 2 years ago, and Avery didn't end up coming with us because she was having a lot of kind of developing seizures, and we didn't quite know what that meant, and it just wasn't safe for her to take her abroad. So I ended up taking the boys on my own. So I'm just keeping everything crossed that Avery is going to be well and we can all go as a family. We're only going for 5 nights, which because of the flight times works out as 4 full days, which is fine. It's going to be nice and hot in Spain. I'd say mid to high 20s, so that's, you know, warm enough. Pushing a little bit too warm for Avery, but you'll see I'm taking measures for things like that. But I'm just really hoping she's well and we can all go as a family, because I think we all need and deserve this break at this point. So back to the bag now that I've gone on another massive tangent. This is going to be our beach / pool bag. It obviously isn't going to fit enough for 6 people in here, but it will fit all of the little bits and bobs, and then I can just stick the towels underneath the wheelchair or something. That's another point. We are going to be taking Avery's wheelchair. So you can probably see it's got Maldives all over it. I picked this up in the airport on the way back from the Maldives last year. Most incredible trip ever, once in a lifetime, absolutely amazing. Inside here it's not too full because, like I said, I have to be careful about what's in this bag, but inside here I have Avery's portable fan. We bought this for her for Orlando, I think it was. I think we actually had to buy it in Orlando because the one that we had out there broke. And then we also have 2 cooling towels. Again, we bought these for Orlando, and we're going to be using them again in Spain to keep Avery nice and cool. The combination of these things worked really well with Avery in Orlando, so I'm hoping it will be the same in Spain. The difference with Spain though is that there is a splash pad and we don't plan on leaving the hotel much, so we're going to be able to keep her cool easily. And then underneath this bag I've just stacked loads and loads of nappies, and then those there are just the boys' goggles. They like to wear goggles when they swim. By the way, if you're in the UK and you struggle to find a nappy that keeps little one dry all through the night, we found these in Tesco's, Rascals nappies. They are the only nappy we have been able to find that Avery can go from 11 o'clock at night until about 6 o'clock in the morning without leaking through. So really impressed with those, and we are actually going to start stocking up on newborn sizes as well because we just think they're really good. Over here I have my toiletry bag. This bag I actually got from TK Maxx, I think last year. It does come with 2 little bags that normally go in here, but I use them for other things, so not using those. But this has just got all of our toiletries. I have a flannel there. I like this one because it takes my makeup off really well. I have a Factor 30 face sun cream. Obviously I'll have normal sun cream in Factor 50, but I bought this for my face for the Maldives and it's just about still in date, so I'm just going to take that with me. Both me and Josh have our Wild deodorants. I do have a discount code for Wild. It's in my description box below, but these are stocked with brand new infills. I have my razor, and I have just put a new blade in there, so that is nice and fresh. I just have these sachets of moisturiser. Either me or Josh can use these. This is just the simple moisturiser. Nice and travel friendly because they're in little sachets. I think I got those on Amazon. We all have travel toothbrushes. These are Avery's G-tube button covers, and then some cotton pads. Cotton pads to kind of do her G-tube cares. I won't need to change her button cover in the morning just because we're going to be by the pool and stuff, and she won't be needing one of those when we're going to be in and out of the pool, but they're for evening more than anything. And then I've also got some medicine. So I've got a little pack of paracetamol here. It's not much, but you know, if one of us gets a headache. And then I've also got some diarrhea relief tablets. I wouldn't take these just because I'm pregnant and I don't know if I can, but I think they're just handy for Josh to have, just in case he gets a dicky tummy. I've got a little pouch here that's got hair bits for me and for Avery, so little hair bands, different sized bobbles, and one of Avery's scrunchies and some hair slides. A little Janeiro Brazilian Bum Bum cream. I got this in my Cult Beauty advent calendar, and I thought this would just make a nice kind of belly rub, like belly moisturiser while we're away, because my normal one is too big to take. Dry shampoo, because I like to wash my hair as little as possible when I'm on holiday. A little mini perfume. I think this is a Paco Rabanne one. Yeah, it's Paco Rabanne Olympia. Josh also has a mini cologne, Paco Rabanne 1 Million. Obviously toothpaste. We have a bottle of dish soap because we're going to need to be washing Avery syringes while we're out there. I've wrapped this in cling film just to make sure it doesn't explode or leak or anything while we are flying. And then I've also packed a couple of Ziploc bags just to kind of secure things on the way back if they are, you know, leaking or anything like that. And then in here I have travel shampoo and conditioner. This is Hair by Sam McKnight. It's from my Cult Beauty advent calendar. So is this. This is the Great Barrier Relief. It's like a serum, but it's got like a sort of moisturiser consistency. I really like it, and it's got a bit of a green tinge to it, so I thought it'd be nice to take for holiday. Hair oil that both me and Avery can use. I like to use hair oil in Avery's hair as well, just to keep it healthy. I've also got a like conditioning mask back here as well, just to try and keep my hair healthy. It is processed, so I try not to let it get too dried out. A little mini face wash. I think this is one I got from TK Maxx. I'm not sure on the brand. Innisfree. Yeah, that's just from TK Maxx. And then I've also got this Glow Recipe Serum. They're like bronzing drops. They've got like a bronzy sheen to them, which I didn't know until I was having a look through my toiletries the other day, so I thought that would be perfect for holiday. And then I've got a little bit left in this toner bottle. I think there's like that much left in it. I like to use toner in my skincare routine. So that is all of that. In this toiletry bag here, I feel like this video is going to be so long going through everything, but basically in there is just all of our sun creams and our after sun. We have a mix of factors, obviously lots and lots of factor 50 in there, not just for the kids but also for me, because apparently you are more sensitive to the sun when you are pregnant, so I'm going to make sure that my body is nice and protected. And then I just have an extra toiletry bag here that's just got some separate bits. We're actually in 2 different rooms. I'm not too sure how, like who's going to be in which room, just because I'm not sure if they're going to be next to each other or not. So I've got that second bag there, and then I'll kind of load it up with toiletries for the second room, if that makes sense. So that is everything that's on this side. And then over on this side we have some of Avery's feed. I have kind of split the feed and also the giving sets, which is what these are, between this bag and the smaller carry-on suitcase, just so that if God forbid our luggage did get lost, we have some in the hand luggage until we can retrieve this. Some of Avery's bottles that we use for her water flushes, and also her mask for her inhaler. We do have another one, so this is just a spare, so I thought I'd pack it. A pack of swim nappies for Avery, more giving sets over here. I've kind of just tucked them in wherever there is space. And then we have a travel kettle and a travel fridge. So Avery has some medications that need to stay in the fridge. So to travel, we're going to be using like a cooler bag and ice packs, which we have done before and it works okay.
But when we're there, we need a fridge in our room, and there aren't fridges in our room. So we just thought we would take our travel fridge. I really like this one. I bought it on Amazon. It comes with a car plug as well. So if we absolutely needed to plug it on in the car, then we can do that. And then inside here, I've got some, not that you're going to be able to see, but there's some Diorolite in there. We thought it'd be handy to give Avery maybe like a syringe or two of that a day just to keep her hydrated. The chargers, not the chargers, but the plugs for the fridge, and then also some Tupperware containers that I'm going to be using to separate Avery's medications for the day, so I can do them up for 24 hours, keep them in our room, and they're easy to kind of grab and go then. I'm just trying to keep things as organised as possible so that I can enjoy the trip as much as possible as well. And then moving on to the carry-on suitcase. This is another buy from TK Maxx. Josh actually bought me this for the Maldives. It's a Moncrief, I think the brand is. I really like it though. But this side is completely empty at the moment. I'm trying to keep it that way because what will go in here is milk bottles, syringes and medications. And then over on this side, this is almost Avery's sleep gear. So we have Avery's travel bed. We take this every time we travel because it's like a blow up bed, but it has sides, so we don't have to worry about her kind of rolling out of it. There's like a muslin swaddle blanket down here that we use as a sheet for this, and then this is the pump to blow it up. We don't necessarily need this, so if I have to get rid of something, it will probably be that, but it does make life a lot easier because that is quite hard to blow up. And then also Avery's SATS monitor. She uses this at night. We couldn't travel without it. And then there's also some bed pads underneath there, just in case Avery does leak. But like I said, with those nappies, she seems to be doing okay. I'm hoping to be able to fit a little bit more on this side, but I need to see what I can get on that side because like I said, I need to keep room for all of her medications. Moving on to the bed, which I feel like is kind of just chaos at the moment. This clear bag here is just full of underwear and pajamas. I mean, it looks like a lot of underwear, but there are a lot of us. And then the rest is mostly clothes. So for the boys, they each have 6 t-shirts, 2 to swap out for daytimes, and then 1 for each night that we're going to be there, or each evening. They have 2 pairs of swim shorts, and then they have 3 pairs of shorts to put on in the evenings. The swim shorts they'll wear in the day, and like I said, they each have those. So those are Zach's, these ones are Marley's, and then these ones here are Eli's. And then Josh, kind of the same. He has 2 t-shirts to switch between for daytime. He has 3 pairs of shorts for the evening, and then an extra pair there just for they're a comfy pair. He'll probably end up wearing those in bed. And then he has 1 pair of swim shorts, which he says is fine, so I'm going to trust his judgment on that. I have 2 kind of like cover-up dress style things for the daytime. I do have 1 more coming from Shein. It should be here this week, along with a pair of bikini bottoms. I did actually film trying on all of the clothes for holiday, and the absolute meltdown that I ended up having because everything I thought would fit at this stage doesn't, and I just felt awful in most of it. But that was some of the footage that I lost, so unfortunately I don't have that to show you, but crisis is over. I did manage to find enough clothes that fit me that I can take. And then I just have 4 dresses for the evenings, so 1 for each evening. And then little madam has 3 evening outfits. She's only got 3 because we are taking 2 pairs of pajamas, and I did just figure the likelihood is we're probably just going to end up putting her in pajamas for most evenings, but I wanted to have the option to be able to dress her up nice if I wanted to. And then I've got 3 outfits for daytime. Again, only 3 because she has her bathing suit, and I'm pretty sure it would be easy to reuse one of these for the day. She has this lovely little bathing suit, which I think I've already shown you in a vlog. That's from Shein. 2 pairs of Minnie Mouse pajamas. They're just shorts and t-shirt sets. And then she has a pair of long pajamas. These are to travel home in, with a pair of socks. Even if I put those on her in the airport when it's going to be a bit cooler for her. But I wanted to make sure she had longer pajamas to come home in, because when we get back to the UK, it's probably going to feel freezing. And then, of course, I would not go anywhere without Avery's hair accessories. Bows are kind of her trademark, so I've made sure there's one there to match every outfit. This is just some of the medical stuff that we're gonna need to take. Like I said, a lot of it's last minute, but I am packing in hand luggage 5 bottles of milk. That is about 2.5 days worth. Or 2 to 3 days worth. So just in case we lose our luggage, I really hope that doesn't happen, but just in case. And then enough giving sets for the same amount of time. We're taking 2 spare extensions. We shouldn't need to change the extension while we're there, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Last minute wise, I will also be taking Avery's spare G-tube just in case that falls out, and then also probably stoma stoppers as well. We have her charger. We have 2 chargers, so this one's spare, so the spare one's up here for her feeding pump. Obviously her feeding pump and mobile backpack will be a last minute pack. And then we have a selection of syringes, 5ml and 60ml. That's all we're going to need for all of her meds and water flushes. And then I will just allocate a time from each day just to kind of wash everything and redraw up her medications. Back here are the only 2 meds that I can pack now. We picked up a fresh bottle of Nurofen and Calpol just in case. Avery's at risk of seizures when she gets unwell because she's epileptic. So we want to make sure we keep on top of a fever if she were to get one. I really hope that's not the case, but also for any pain, I don't know, tummy aches, anything like that, it's good to have those on hand with disabled children or non-disabled children. And then we just have enough nappies for a couple of days there to put in hand luggage, a full pack of wipes. This is a mount, like a mount for Avery's iPad. Just in case we can't find anywhere to kind of prop it up, I just thought that would be handy. We also have a parasol over there to keep her nice and shaded. These are the boys' headphones, these are Avery's headphones. Marley hopefully will remember to bring his from home. These are mine and Josh's sunglasses, and these are Avery's little sunglasses. Oh, I figured it would be much easier if I just walked around to this side of the bed. So I have a bag there which I'm just going to pop kind of like crossbody, just to keep certain things to hand when I need them in the airport, so passports and whatnot. This is Avery's sun hat. I bought it on Shein. I like it because it has a drawstring to adjust the hat to her head, and then it also has the strap to kind of go under her chin, so hopefully it should stay on her. The boys all have a cap and I have a cap. Josh will also have a cap, but the likelihood is he'll wear his to the airport, so I'm not going to pack it. Over here, just some random bits and bobs. This is actually my swimwear. Like I said, I have still got a set of bikini bottoms to come, but I'm taking 2 pairs of bottoms and 3 tops. I really struggled to find swimwear that I owned that I fit nice into at the moment, I felt nice in. So I've just mixed and matched some of the things I've already got. Hairbrush, hairband and hair clip. I figured it'd be a good idea to put these in my hand luggage because I hate the feeling of my hair being knotty, and me and Avery will share this hairbrush, so we only need to take one. I like to buy these Ziploc bags. These are the size of the bags that they ask you to put your things into in security. I like to make sure our liquids that we're taking in hand luggage are already in these before we even get to the airport, because it just saves a lot of kind of stress and sort of last minute rummaging through your bags. So that's a tip if you hate going through security and doing all of that. And then just have a phone charger for my phone, and that's an older iPhone or an older Apple charger, the lightning charger, so that will charge Avery's iPad and the boys' iPads as well, and also Josh's phone, and then 2 power banks. So those are to kind of keep to hand. And then I do have a bag here full of all of our other chargers and adapters that we're going to need. I've also labelled them all to make things easier while we're there and to know exactly kind of what charger is for what and what charger needs to go to who. I've just kind of labelled them all, and then yeah, I have got travel adapters in there as well. And then this pile here is towels. We actually have 6 towels plus a hooded towel for Avery, so that one's kind of just one we put over her head. And then everyone's shoes except for mine. I am probably going to be travelling in either my kind of Teva dupes or my black Birkenstocks or my tan Birkenstocks, and then packing one of the other. I want to make sure I take one tan pair and one black pair. I'm just not sure if I want to take both my Birkenstocks or if I want to take one pair of Birkenstocks and one pair of, well, they're not Tevas, but they're like the shape of Tevas, like Teva dupes. Anyway, but Josh decided to go for 90p flip-flops. These are just Poole shoes, by the way. The boys will all be wearing their trainers. And then Marley has some slides. The boys both have some new slides because they didn't like the Croc style shoes. Eli said they rubbed his feet. And then Avery also has her little sandals here as well, which she probably won't wear much, but when she's in her wheelchair I just thought it'd be nice to kind of keep her feet off of the plastic, especially if it gets hot. And then the only last things are the things that are kind of fallen down here. So we have a blanket for Avery. I mean, honestly, this is probably going to be more so for the plane because I'm hoping it will be nice and warm in Spain in the evening, so she won't need a thicker blanket like this. We can just use a sheet, or unless we have some decent aircon. And then we have this, which we actually bought for the plane seat. Now, I have spoken to someone in special assistance and they've said it's fine. A lot of you are concerned that EasyJet are not going to let me use this on the plane. My plan is to strap this to the seat and then actually bring the plane seat belt, around all of this. So technically she is still secured by the plane seat belt, but if for any reason they're not going to allow it, we will make something else work. It will be fine. This will still come in handy for holiday. I thought that it would be really good to be able to strap this to a sun lounger, and then that way I can sit with Avery without having to hold her. And I also know that there's no way she's going to kind of droop down or roll off of a sun lounger. It gives us options on where to be able to put her, where we know that, you know, there's no risk of her kind of rolling off it or anything like that. But that is essentially everything. I've obviously also got the bags here. These are all the bags that we're going to be using. The challenge now is to be able to get everything on this bed into these bags and be able to leave a little bit of room for our last minute stuff. So wish me luck. And we are done. That was actually really hard work. There was a lot of packing and unpacking, trying to figure out which bag would fit each person's clothes the best, because I don't want to mix everyone's clothes up. I want to try and keep it organised in the sense that each bag belongs to each child and their clothes are in that bag. So the only thing I've added to the large suitcase is Avery's parasol. You can probably hear her singing downstairs. Avery's parasol, which luckily came apart into 2 pieces. The ibuprofen and the paracetamol, and a little bit of makeup into the toiletry bag. And I haven't really added much extra into the smaller carry-on suitcase because that is space saved for meds, which I can't pack till last minute. But that is Marley's bag, that is Eli's bag, that is Zach's bag, that is Josh's bag. My bag is underneath Avery's seat, and then I ended up using that duffel bag for Avery instead of the red bag just because I had her iPad mount to pack. I've still got her iPad to go in there. The boys have obviously still got all of their electronics to go in as well, same as me and Josh. So there's still bits to pack, but we wouldn't have been able to do it with any less, put it that way. These bags are packed full. But I worked up a little bit of a sweat doing that, I'm not gonna lie. I am quite tired now, so yeah. I was about to say I'm gonna take a rest now, but I've got to go and draw up Avery's meds for the next 24 hours, put the washing away and eat my dinner. Josh and I actually had a date night last night and we brought home doggy bags because we could not finish our food. So I have leftovers from our meal out last night and I'm really looking forward to it because the food was very, very good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little pack with me. Fingers crossed I can get this video up for you soon because I have no idea when I'm going to be able to find time to edit. But yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you guys again soon in another video. Bye guys.